Welcome to another Woods Report, and this is our review of today's Breakfast Club, August 1st, 2022. All right, so Angela Yee started off by talking about how she got acupuncture this weekend. Or she said it released stress. It helped release a lot of stress in her. She said a lot of parts that that you could feel like parts that was real tight when they put that needle in or whatever. She can feel it releasing the stress.
I have mixed views on that acupuncture because I think for me it was other things going on with my body, and my at the time my right hand was always sometimes giving me problems. It would be pain or I get some cramping. And when they would put the needle, those little needles, they would stick me all over my body. But when she get to that right hand, it hurt.
Right.
And she couldn't stick me with any needles. And there was some needles that she would stick in and it would bother me. And I have to tell her to come in and pull it out.
So some of them hurt.
It didn't hurt until it got to my right hand. I don't know what that was. If there was really something going on with my right hand, that was even more of a medical issue where acupuncture couldn't even.
So are you going to go back or you're not going to? Oh, okay. So it didn't work for you then?
It didn't work for
So
me.
she talked about that and it worked for her, I guess.
I think Mama said it worked for her.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So then they also talked about DJ. They was kind of they coming over the weekend. So DJ Envy talked about how he traveled over the weekend, and people are nervous and scared about the monkeypox.
Oh yeah.
So that's the whole thing.
A lot of more people are showing that they have it.
Yeah,
they said over 1,000.
New York is on a high alert and all this stuff, and they in New York. So and New York is usually the first one. Remember with the COVID, New York got hit first. Yeah. And then it trickled to everywhere in the country. So is this a prelude to what's getting ready to happen? And we supposed to be going on a cruise. So are we going to have to cancel the cruise because of monkeypox? We don't know.
I hope not. I pray that it's not an outbreak even on if we are successful to get on the boat.
Yeah. Ooh. So that's
that person they would have to airborne off and leave.
And then this one is more of if you touch something that somebody infected has touched. So we got to go back, I guess, to the gloves, the spraying stuff down and all of that stuff. So there we go with that monkeypox.
Yes.
If it's not one, I'm telling you, it's gonna be something else every time.
Okay.
That's why I prep. Go to our prepping channel. Peaceful preppers.
What's prepping for the monkeypox?
No, prepping that we may have to stay in. For all these things
I'm
going
thinking
on.
If you get stuff like that, I guess it's medical attention.
Yeah. So we don't know. All right. So they talked about that. Okay. You know. Of course, all the deaths. Bill Russell, 88, basketball legend. He passed away at home peacefully. They said with his wife.
Okay.
A couple of things about him: 11 championships in 13 seasons. That's huge.
Boston Celtics.
No one else has done that.
And he's coached some teams that have won some
awards.
Coached
teams, NBA 50 greatest players of all time. We were talking about on the previous show who should have a statue. He has a statue already.
Yeah.
He's won a presidential honors. Obama
they talked about him on The View too.
So he got a lot of accolades, a lot of things coming up. And then the next show after this, we do The View. So we'll probably talk about him again.
Because everybody's been talking about these deaths since this weekend.
Yeah. They talked about they have a segment called Get It Off My Chest, where people call in and get stuff off their chest.
Okay.
So this lady called in, she's a teacher. And she was saying how it's hard for her because I didn't know that, and I think I do because our friend Tanya was a teacher.
Okay.
They have to buy stuff for their classroom. They have to decorate their classroom. They have to buy supplies for their classroom.
Those areas where they don't have as much funding for the kids.
And she said that she's having problems doing her rent and all the other things going on with inflation and stuff. So she's having a hard time.
She can reach out to organizations.
Well, she says she's having a hard time and it's stressing her out because she's having a hard time and school starts back. Some people started already today. And she said she needed help. So Charlemagne cashed apped her $200 and Envy's going to cash app her some money.
She can reach out in her community to the National Panhellenic. Any of the sororities and fraternities
to ask for supplies and stuff.
We do that in our community. They
a lot of people don't. You guys, a lot of people, you don't utilize these sororities and fraternities enough. They outstepping and doing everything else. We are in a sorority,
but they're about
we also do service as well.
Yes.
So
we should never have to hear in any community those comments
that teachers are having a problem or something.
Because I remember actually physically being there filling up backpacks, with supplies.
Right.
Oh God, I hope she got help.
So that was one thing.
Okay.
They talked about Biden being positive again, him testing positive, and Angela Yee said, actually it might be those things, the drugs or whatever it is that they put you through. Sometimes they say it gives a false positive.
And they said too, they kind of rushed him. One of the doctors said
they
instead of 5 days, they should have given him 7 days or whatever.
Quit rushing that old man to get out there.
Lord, give him a week, 2 weeks at least. Oh my God.
So now here's the latest. Remember Rosita, the Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, that was been pushing kids. That's
away.
Overlooking.
Well, apparently we got more. Rapunzel at Disneyland.
Oh no!
I guess she was racist. I guess to some black kids. And Chuck E. Cheese, he's been identified as a racist.
This makes this whole thing with racial diversity, all these kind of teachings, they missing the mark on this.
So Charlemagne said, said that the parents or whoever need to address it then. Angela Yee said they do. They go to the manager and complain. He's saying no, they should address it to the character at that time, and maybe they should all join up and beat up on the character. He was being funny, I guess. But then Envy said, well, that would make them more traumatized than being overlooked in the first place.
Beating up.
He said no. What they can do is adults hold them and let the kids beat up the character for doing that.
No, that's teaching kids violence. Take out your problems, just beat up people. No, we can't teach that. We really got to get away from the violence.
Was like, well, what else can they do other than tell the manager? I mean,
I think the more it's power in numbers. It's like you said, how they got that one
fire them.
How they got that one guy to stop giving free food away for volunteering.
Yeah,
that was a large number of people in the community. If a large number of people sign a petition,
right,
send your complaint.
I think it's going to have to go to what Disney World did, or I thought they did. They said Rapunzel was walking around. What else she should have been walking around?
They got
to go back to Disney World, where now you have to stand in line for them to come up and hug you.
That's gonna take so long now. It's Santa Claus.
It is what it is. So they shouldn't be walking around anyway. Too many monkeypox and all kind of stuff going on. Why are you walking around anyway? So just like why are there still buffets? Why are there still buffets? When there's monkeypox and COVID and stuff.
That's really a good point.
Y'all just have to have a buffet, don't y'all?
They shut it down in the early 2020 when the whole pandemic thing. We didn't see no buffets.
Look, guys, there's things that we just ain't gonna have. There's things that was in the 60s we don't have anymore. But it gotta go away.
But I don't think that they didn't need to go to that. They really need to because now this is surfacing and everybody's talking about it with the Rosita incident. They really should put a spotlight on the amusement park and how they're teaching the people that can send those characters.
And then how do we know that it's just they don't like that family? How do we know that family is
Rosita
just...
was consistent. Right. Every little black girl, she pushed away. So that's good. She was consistent.
So if Chuck E. Cheese is consistent at a location and Rapunzel is consistent, then I can see. But sometimes it could just mean you just don't like that family. We've been at the what's the parade in Chicago? What's the parade?
Bud
Billiken. And some of them kids,
I told y'all about
they ghetto as all get out.
I told y'all when my friend and
I was avoiding them, and I'm not racist.
When we were clowning at
so you don't know.
We were homie.
They be shaking all on you.
They was kicking
you and punching you in the face and stuff, and all kinds of stuff.
Hey, make me do my face. And they'll push on you.
And we just gave our Halloween candy at the Navy thing. What was the worst family family that came up, the black family.
But
I hate that. And here's the thing, and I'm black, I can't stand it. Why our own people? The worst family. Everybody else, white people, little white kids. Thank you for the candy. Thank you. We give it to the black people. Just one family. I don't want this. What is this? They gonna throw it. And then the mom was like, pick that up, boy. I said, y'all so dang on ignorant and ghetto. Not all black people, because we had a lot of black families that came through with cool. But why is it always gotta be that?
The Rosita character, the kids were so
I don't care if y'all don't like what I'm saying.
I know, I see what you're saying, because I've been a clown.
Because y'all know y'all say the
with
same
some
thing.
unruly
And
children.
let me tell you, a lot of black people that write in and do comments and say that, they liars. Because they say the same thing when they get behind closed doors and in their car or whatever, ain't nobody listening. They be thinking to themselves, click the door. They be doing all of that. Y'all don't do it for everybody else, but not for us. But it's wrong. We understand that. But why is it? You know what? It could be we just recognize it because it's us. It's our own. But you recognize your own.
But that wasn't the issue with the Rosita character. I can see unruly kids is going to be unruly.
No, we saw the video for them. They was cute little
kids.
They was
just waiting.
Yeah, she didn't have to push them
away. And they were so quiet. Yeah, and she ignored them.
So I got to see the
talking
video.
About the baby kids.
Yeah, we got to see.
Baby kids, we truly
and
understand.
I grew up in the ghetto, so I can say ghetto, just like I can say fat.
And you know what? If that character is pulled aside in the back office, and they can ask, they got a chance to answer the question why you did this. They can say that family has been taunting me since I came out on the stage.
Oh, let's see the video. Let's see how the kids was acting.
If they got an argument to rule against,
I gotta see the video on Chuck E. Cheese and Rapunzel before I give mine. But a lot of people make comments and stuff. They so politically correct, and when they get behind closed doors, they say all kind of stuff.
I know.
And like I said, sometimes we could just recognize it because we black. So we gonna recognize ghetto or whatever
baby kids.
Just like somebody Latino might be watching this, be like, I recognize it in my own group. You know what I'm saying? So just like each person or each group can recognize. If you're Italian, you probably like, oh my God, these griots or whatever they call the name. They like, I can't stand it, or you know what I'm saying. Or if you Asian and you see stereotypes,
it's hard to be.
So you click on to it because that's your race. Yes. So you gonna click on to
politically correct. So, we always said if you're that race,
you gonna see it more.
Have more opportunity to talk about that race.
Just like
you are that race.
Just like you may not know a word until you learn the word, then all of a sudden you hear the word all the time. The word was already was being said all the time. It's just that you didn't know the word. Now your brain somehow clicks to it. So that could be why we always noticing that with black kids doing that, because we black. That's gonna make us
because any
zoom in to them more.
No, because I in all honesty, I see where you're going with
but
that.
In that case, it was the only black kids.
No, I'm just putting my hand at the rest. I see where you're going with that, because as a clown, we've gotten ignorance in all races.
That's what I'm saying.
So as a clown, I can say an unruly kid, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, they come in all packages and sizes.
But we just noticed, that's what I'm saying, because I think because we black, it's almost like a big brother, big sister type of thing. Because I'm black, I'm like, come on now, I'm gonna be more on you than I am anybody else.
Little black girl, little black boy, come on now.
Yeah.
Get it together.
You're right.
Okay.
All right. They talked about Joe Manchin, the congressman.
Oh, what did they say about him?
He's on board for whatever bill this is coming up. Charlamagne said, I believe when I see it.
They made jokes about him on The View because they figured he's been one Democratic that's been more leaning towards the Republican.
Right.
And not really going with the flow.
He's going with the flow now because I think they was going to kick him out the boat. He was getting ready to get kicked out.
They had asked him a question on what's the one, the George Stephanopoulos show about who he's going to vote for the upcoming election. And he avoided that big time. He said, but I understand what he said and why he said it. I'm not giving you no answer, he said.
All right.
It's not even about the election, right? We're trying to deal with what's now. Well, you said that you're avoiding the question. He said, I am avoiding the question because I'm not answering it.
Right.
And I see where he was going because the media wants to go,
right.
Are you going to take the Republican side if a Republican person is running?
Right.
He said, whoever my president is, I'm working with them to make things happen.
So we'll see. I just think he just was.
But I see what he was saying, though, because the media is always quick with the microphone in your mouth. Who are you going to vote for the 2024 election?
Again, if you Republican, you already going to say who running. Well, they don't know who running. Democrats, they don't know.
I think they was asking him because he kind of goes both ways.
They all over the board. Again, checkers. The Republicans play chess, Democrats play checkers.
Yeah.
All right. There was a Nigerian artist, music artist on there named Kiz Daniel. Mm-hmm. Only thing that stuck out with me with him, his original name was Kiss. He changed his name.
What do you mean Kiss?
Kiss. His mom named him Kiss.
Kiss?
Yeah, I never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
That's different,
though.
What
you think? Because you think of another country, it's just
Kiss.
It means.
What do you think about that?
Well, in America, no. If he's in his country, maybe it means something.
But I'm just saying the name Kiss to be different.
Hey, Kiss, come here.
Yeah,
hey,
Kiss. That's different.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Hey, Kiss, can you come here?
That's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Kiss.
Is
I don't
he the
think
only
I ever
one
heard of
in the
anybody.
world named
I'm
Kiss?
sure he's not, but I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
I thought that was different.
He changed it?
He changed it to Kiz, Kizz.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay. They talked about Beyonce's Renaissance album, number one, debuting obviously. Yeah. Over 300,000 copies. And then Charlamagne and them all were saying she's been in the game for over 20 years, and to still have a number one album is good. You should, give her hands.
Some other artists have done that.
Not consistently. Every time she puts out an album, it's number one. Okay. Which means to me her fans are solid.
And she's done a lot of albums.
Yeah, but her fans are
at
solid.
Her young age.
The Beehive is solid. Yeah, they solid. It's over 300,000 of them by themselves, and they gonna all go out and buy the album.
Think about this though. In comparison, you did this with another analogy. Comparison to an artist from no social media back in the day who did as great as she does. Social media helps her. Yeah. But think about an artist who had no social media, who was on the game for 15, 20 years, and everything they put out was like, whoa, let's get it. Whoa. For me, that's more of a accomplishment.
Than her. She's a machine.
You had no social media at all.
At this point, Beyonce is a machine.
Yeah.
So it's going
to put out something.
Like Drake. He's a machine at this point.
That's true.
Little Durk. They talked about Little Durk at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Yeah, the thing blowing up. So they talked about it too.
Yeah, but he's fine.
Mm-hmm. He has the one eye cover with the little face.
He said he's gonna take a break for a little bit.
I bet he
because of all the stuff that's going on.
He has to heal anyway. You ain't going on stage with no cast.
But I like the fact that he finished his show.
Yeah,
because some people would have ran off the stage and not finished.
So
if
that happened to him, I'm sure he was in pain.
He said he was in pain, but he said he finished the show for the fans because they came there to see him. So
that's power.
So that was nice.
That wasn't his last song or something.
I don't know, but can you imagine if it started?
I'm sorry, I'm in pain. I ain't rapping or nothing for you.
But I can understand if you got like one song left or some or two and just finish the song.
I'm devastated. It hurts.
I'm gone.
And put some ointment on.
Yeah, I'm gone. Sorry, I would have my background singers or something singing or whatever.
Going while I'm out. All right.
Play a video of me or something.
Yes.
Out of here.
Yes.
Okay. But he's taking a break.
All right.
He's taking a break. So. But imagine if his face would have blew off or something.
Oh Lord.
And then I thought about that. He's thinking he gonna get shot, and that wouldn't have been the way he would have gotten killed. He would have gotten killed from some thing explosion on stage.
Oh, that's
isn't that something? You don't know how you're gonna go.
A gun
so just be ready to go when you need to, and have everything you need to have in place.
Okay.
They talked about Sandra Rhimes and a couple of other women coming together in the film industry or in TV to ask Netflix what their abortion emergency plan is. Apparently, because I guess they do film in states all across. And in some states, you can't have an abortion because it's illegal. Yeah. So they want Netflix to come up with some kind of policy to protect women that are in the middle of filming or in the middle of... So that's a new one.
Who thinks of that?
They thought of it.
Like so the women that are on that production crew.
And maybe they shooting in Alabama or something. And they don't live in Alabama.
They live there.
So they want to know what Netflix
I'm surprised because I'm thinking they would just fly them back to a state that they can.
Well, they want to know what is Netflix.
Why would that state change
But what's the emergency plan? Are they going to still get paid? Are they going whatever? Oh, so they presenting to Netflix to see. That's going to create a whole bunch of other stuff. That's what we said.
It's a domino
effect. It's a domino effect.
It's slowly but surely falling over.
Yep. They talked about Patti LaBelle. She was on Drink Champs, and they talked about Aretha Franklin.
What about him?
And just asking her, because Aretha Franklin was very mean and cold to her, I guess, towards the end of when she was dying. And Patti said it's no beef. She felt like maybe Aretha wasn't feeling well. And so when you're not feeling well, you kind of act like that. But in my opinion, I've always heard Aretha Franklin was like that.
That was nothing about her feeling well. I'm thinking I heard she really like got her back on that one.
But she said, because apparently she did an Aretha Franklin tribute tribute song or something, and then she ran into Aretha Franklin and said, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing? You just see the tribute I did?" And then Aretha was like, "It was okay," or something like that. Who does that? Aretha Franklin.
Aretha, yeah.
So I don't think they have they ever been really friends?
I don't even think she's really good friends with
anybody. I don't even know if she's good friends with her family. Yeah.
Mm-mm. She's always been like that though. Even
she always
not that they portray that in the movie.
I didn't watch the movie. You watched it.
I didn't watch
the movie.
You didn't watch the movie? What's her name? I watched the other one.
Did they show it in the other one?
A little bit.
See, I don't know.
She had issues with her.
She smoked a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about Aretha Franklin. I just know I
want to know how they portrayed it. Well, I'm thinking, you know what? I take that back. I think we kind of know because Aretha kind of gave direction,
right,
while she was living.
Okay.
For what's her name to play her part. So I don't think she showed negativity like that.
No, I think it was only the people that she felt like could sing and stuff. I think she was that's just her. I think she was a hater.
That's just really sad that she's like that because she had her own. She was in her own
But
lane.
it's a lot of people that's like that, especially in Hollywood.
Some people said Elton John was like that.
I think he's like that too. If you're a peon, nobody that ever, But then I don't know. I don't know about these people.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know why people the way they are.
Yeah,
sometimes people could be, maybe Patty wasn't the nicest person to her or said something to her.
That's true.
And she didn't like her. So we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know the inside.
We just speculating at this point. But Patty said it didn't matter because she loved Aretha anyway.
Okay.
And she
I'm
respected
glad that
Aretha.
She was a bigger person.
Yeah, she said, I love her, I respected her, and at the end, towards the end or whatever, anything negative anybody, she said about Aretha or to her, she didn't listen because she felt like maybe she was in pain, and that was, that's how she was going out.
That's true.
So they talked about how she still looked good at 78, and how she still be walking through the airport with her heels on looking good, and a young man looking at her, and they was trying to say it respectfully, and Charlamagne threw in there and said that he had once said it not respectfully back in the day, and her sons checked him.
Whoa, what did he say that's unrespectful?
I don't know. He must have said something like she looked hot or sexy or something. They checked him. Like, you don't talk about our mother like that.
Oh, okay.
So he said her sons will take up for her.
That's good.
They'll beat you down for
That's how
kids
should be.
That's
how kids should be.
And then she said, they talked about that, about young people, and she said that's another thing. Y'all be trying to, she was saying, y'all crack me up, putting up y'all little reefer and all this other stuff. She said, I know what's up. I'm about it. I know what's up. I don't do that.
She been back in the.
But she said,
you gotta remember.
She said, I want you to be yourself when you're around me. Don't put up stuff and all that. Be who you are when you with me.
Because she in the game for a while. Well, even when she was with LaBelle.
Right.
They did some.
And then Charlamagne, she talked about how she liked the City Girls, the rap group City Girls. You know them? They real raunchy. She liked them, and they were surprised that she liked them.
Oh, really?
And Charlamagne said, why is everybody so surprised when we've always had Little Kim and Foxy Brown and Trina and Kia and Kaya and Jackie O and all of them. We've always had that raunchiness in rap.
But
so why is everybody
like
so surprised? But everybody's so surprised by the City Girls. He said, in other words, everybody keep making such a big deal about the City Girls. And it's like Little Kim and them came way before them. So, and I agree.
Oh, okay. You mean
even Cardi B? Everybody making such a Megan and all of that. Like, she's shaking her butt. They've been doing that. Okay. Little Kim and them been doing that. Trina, all of them. But this ain't new to the game.
Age, though.
Yeah, see, that's it. It's bigger now.
Yes.
So Little Kim and them wasn't on social media like that. So that's why
social media sell you in a moment, boy.
They talked about the artist Shakira. You know Shakira.
What about her?
She in trouble for tax evasion. She might have to do some time in prison.
I don't understand.
What happened, what she's saying is I guess she owned property in Spain or something, in Barcelona and then in another island or something. It's something where it's mixed up. And they saying she better fix all of that or she going to be in jail.
Winfrey has made it clear
on
her show. You have to stay connected
with your taxes,
your accountants, your bank, everybody in your circle.
Yep.
You don't never hear that about Oprah.
Nope.
Not paying taxes
on buildings and stuff. A long time ago on her show, I remember she said, I don't know if it's still true, but she said, I know every check that's written out of my checkbook. Every check. I don't let any money go out of my account.
And should you not, as a business owner, as an entertainer,
you should know.
You should even have a status meeting.
Yeah.
If you got to do it once a month or virtually, Okay, everybody, what's on the books?
Yeah.
Well, you got this property in Spain, so and so, that they've been asking for the taxes on it.
Right.
No excuses.
So,
no excuses.
They talked about Will Smith, of course, and his
Everybody's
apology.
Still talking about
his remorseful without feeling ashamed.
Talked about that on the View too.
He said, Will Smith said, you can be remorseful without feeling ashamed. And Charlamagne thought that was a powerful statement. Like, a lot of times people feel like in order to feel sorry, you have to feel shamed and down, and he's saying, no, you can feel sorry without feeling ashamed. I mean, feeling like you a horrible person. Everybody makes mistakes. So he needs to
Is that what you think he meant by that?
I think that's what he means.
They got a whole different interpretation on The View.
Well, then he also will get on that. Then he talked about Charlamagne and Envy hate when people have to go publicly and apologize, but they understand that the slap was public, so that's why he has to do that.
Should be
and
public.
Then Tyrese gonna chime in on his Instagram or whatever and talk about he love Will Smith and we love how you said. And they were just saying, why you even chime in, Charlamagne?
That means what?
I mean, Tyrese. He always got to say something.
But that means what?
Nothing. Because
you putting your validation on something because somebody. But
Tyrese always got to say something.
But going back to what you said, as far as Charlamagne said, whatever they were saying, as far as you don't have to feel. Because what they were saying.
Remorse without feeling shame.
And
you can feel like you did something bad without feeling like you are the piece of crap.
And for me, I don't think that. For me, I have a different opinion on that, depending on what you've done.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on what you did.
If
you kill somebody, you need to feel like a piece of crap. Or you
raped a kid.
You should feel like a piece of crap.
Or you beat an old lady up.
A piece of crap for the rest of your life.
You should be shamed.
Yeah, you should be shamed.
And just hopefully change from doing it again.
No, I think the only way that you can get free from that is if you get delivered.
Well,
that's it.
Spiritually set free.
If not, you are a piece of crap.
Those are demons that's going to follow you.
Yeah, until you die, you're a piece of crap.
I think personally, this is my opinion, what Will Smith did, I don't know, I felt like when we watched it and what we've watched him in his whole growing up and how he's been responding to people and how he does his interviews and how he raises his kid, we don't know where that came from.
That anger. Remember he said he wanted to push his father down the stairs.
Oh, so in that book.
That's that anger. He has a lot of anger that he's dealing with, and that's why he keep going over to India and all them other places to try to get rid of it.
I think you should be shamed that you did it in public.
Well, that you did it to somebody else.
No, I'm thinking
he should have slapped himself.
No, I'm just looking at it this way. Right. The shame part of it and how I feel is that it was done on stage while someone was in their role.
Right. And
if you did it backstage, maybe not so shameful.
And it took away from everybody.
Hiding and you punched him.
So, but then they talked about Chris Rock on his comedy show. He said Suge Smith and stuff like that. And then people were saying that's in response to Will, and Charlamagne got upset and said it's not in response to Will because he's been saying that same joke since the incident happened. It has nothing to do with Will Smith coming on there and saying that. And he said, I hate that everybody keep reporting it. And I saw The View like you said, and they reported it the way Charlamagne said they shouldn't. That they keep reporting that's his response to Will Smith. It's not his response to Will Smith. He said that's a joke.
They didn't say that on The View.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, today?
Yeah, they did. They said this. And Chris...
No, they didn't say nothing about Suge.
No. They said Chris Rock responded to Will Smith's apology.
Oh, making his...
And he never... and Charlamagne said
okay.
he never responded to Will Smith's apology. That's the same joke.
He made it as a joke.
No. That's the same joke he's been saying. He said before the apology. He been calling him Suge Smith. That's what Charlamagne was saying.
Start calling him Suge Smith.
Charlamagne said when he went to see his comedy thing, he called him Suge Smith.
When? Before the punch?
After the punch.
That's what they're saying.
Before the apology,
before the punch, we can see.
Yeah.
Oh, he's always called Will Smith Suge Smith. Suge Knight.
Right.
But anything after that punch,
and this
everybody's gonna have their own views on stuff.
Before the apology, that's what he was saying.
Okay.
And this one guy called in. He said kind of what I said Friday. He said if I was Chris, I wouldn't accept it until after I milked this. I would milk this. I would do a show on it. I would do a Netflix, get paid for Netflix, No, why would I? No.
Get some money for it. Get paid.
I'm not going to accept your, because if I accept your apology, that diminishes my joke.
Dang, we got to
how we call you Suge Smith and I accepted your apology? We got
to have a kumbaya moment, and now I got to change my jokes now on it because they are forgiving you now, so I can't tease you.
We'll get something out of apologizing because people probably going to say, well, we'll work with you again.
Think about it that way.
We'll work with you again. Bad Boys is on again, and all these other movies that they canceled for him.
You're really a bad boy now.
Yeah. All these other shows that they canceled are back because you really did a heartfelt apology.
Yeah.
So Chris should be able to get something out of it too.
That's true.
So
let him show. This weekend they've been showing all Will Smith movies.
Thank you.
I watched how many times Independence Day?
Right.
And Men in Black. See, 1, 2, and 3.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
So now he's cool because he apologized. So Chris should get some out of it too. So milk it for everything you can. I agree with that caller.
Okay.
And I said the same thing on Friday.
It's about money, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Because he probably don't really like him.
And it's not. It's a smack.
So why not take advantage of it?
Yeah.
If I really
and they act like
don't
he
like
went
you.
up on stage and stabbed him. It was a smack.
I know.
Get over it, everybody. It's
he
a smack.
wasn't stabbed or shot. Oh my God! Would they be that bold to do that in person?
Yes.
Oh, to slap somebody with a gun or rifle? Oh,
so no, we have not canceled Will Smith.
Okay.
Yes, we still watching everything. Yes, we still watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
Yes, we still want to see Bad Boys. It's just that whole crispy image is gone. That's all it is. And he shouldn't want that crispy image. Who wants to live up to that? I'd rather have you put me on the lowest level and I'm improved. Then I'll have me up here and I always got to live up to your expectations.
Well, maybe you're right. The book helps.
I think the smack helped him.
Because you've given some insight on where the anger is coming from
as
well. So that book did help.
Well, you know, the people who believe in the Illuminati and all of that believe all this was set in motion. That it was all because Will Smith was up here. You got to bring him down so that he can have some place to go. He had plateaued to the highest, and you got to grow in order to keep making money and stuff in this business. So they always bring a scandal out every once in a while, and it also helped Chris. Because Chris was starting to, people wasn't really watching him. Now everybody's shows are selling out and everything. So the Illuminati, you know, people who believe in that, believe that this was all set in motion by the Illuminati.
Okay.
The ones that's the real people that's in power that control how you think and stuff.
And they probably
in the media.
Is that like what's that show, Scandal?
Yeah, it's always something in the background.
Her job was to sit and talk about what's just happened, how to clean it up.
But we all know in Scandal, it was always something in the back. It was always the people really pushing the buttons. Okay. That's the Illuminati. That's people who believe in Illuminati. Okay. And I can't disagree if they believe because it has
come out.
It has taken Will down. He had to live up here. And is this taking him to where now he can do anything? He can do Bad Boy movies and not Bad Boy the way he did, but a movie where he's a mean. He can kick people's doors in now in movies and kill people in movies. Whereas before you couldn't. He was Independence Day guy.
People already using using that incident as don't let me Will Smith.
Don't let me right. Yeah. See, he was too nice as Muhammad Ali. We couldn't think of him as being, but now
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. Now if he strangle a lady in a movie, we can go like, yeah, that's Chris.
Yeah,
I can see
that's
Chris.
Really Will Smith.
Yeah, that's Will Smith.
Okay.
I can see that.
I see.
See, Illuminati.
They must have sat down and talked about
that. All right. Then they talked about the donkey of the day. This man, Mark Hall, decided he wanted to film himself driving down the street and threatening black kids. To assault black kids.
He's doing this on purpose?
He did it on purpose. So they arrested him and gave him a charge of simple assault. And they let him out, I think, with a $45,000 bond or something. But the parents are upset. And they said, we're not going to let him get away with that, with terrorizing our children, racist, and all this other stuff. Charlamagne said the parents, again, need to come together and beat him up. That's Charlamagne's go-to. They all need to come together, just beat him up.
You don't want to beat nobody up, because what if you hurt him and he dies?
Right.
Now they're going to be on trial for murder.
Right. He just being stupid.
Charlamagne. Okay.
Well, I don't know why people take Charlamagne serious.
So sometimes
Charlamagne is like Howard. I listen to Howard Stern. I don't know why people take Howard Stern serious.
So they make comments like that just
they make comments just so y'all can call in and do comment section. Why would you say that? Stuff like that. Okay. And some stuff I say. It's just I just say the most outlandish stuff, just so I can watch you idiots in the comment section say, why would you say pull her hair? That's not right.
Okay.
I would really pull somebody's hair.
To cause a stir.
Just to see what people are saying.
Okay.
Okay, they talked about Fabio, the rapper. I had talked about Friday, I believe, he was saying how Mace paid him $5,000. Mace is the rapper that's suing Diddy, for his rights to his music.
He's not rapping anymore, right?
No.
Okay.
But he is a production company, and they signed Fabio. And he said he gave him $5,000, and Charlamagne and all of them couldn't understand that he was on $1 million worth of game, the show $1 Million Worth of Game. And so Mace came in on $1 Million Worth of Game and cleared it up. He said, no, I gave him $700,000. I gave him $5,000 the first day, and he gave a reason why he gave him all that. And then he said, and then following up, I gave him $700,000, a 50-50 split. So I'm wondering why dude ain't say that. See, you can't just put out there somebody gave you $5,000.
Right. You have to be really...
You need to be clear. If he gave you $700,000, you need to say that.
Right.
Don't just say somebody gave you $5,000.
Everybody's going to take that and run with it, and now things are going to be building up on the
And I like how $1 Million Worth of Game allowed Mace to come on there. They clear up stuff. These brothers from the street. Okay. They clear up stuff.
Okay.
They'll let you come on and say, okay, you said that? What you got to say? They'll bring the other person on there. So I like that.
But they have brought in the fake R. Kelly sisters.
Yeah. Then the last thing, Neo's wife, she's been all over social media. So apparently she's left him again. He cheated. She said he's narcissistic and he can't keep his penis in his pants.
Because he sure was acting special on The View when he was in the Bahamas. And he had his mom there in the audience.
But you know what?
His mom, and he had his little suit on.
Let me tell you why I like
talking about there was some issue with music and the style of music. Because remember we were talking about the different categories of music and what's considered rhythm and blues, what's considered that. He was trying to protect what rhythm and blues really is and whatever. Right. So it always seems like he's a shiny dude, got it all together with his hat.
Let me tell you why.
Shoes,
one thing I like about him,
and messed up marriage.
Angela Yee talked about, because he was on The View like a week ago or something. It was recent, like 2 weeks or a week ago.
For what?
Just coming on there, pitch his new album and stuff. And she talked about
the Bahamas one.
No, his album. He had an album that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
And then she talked about he had a song on his album about leave me or something along those lines. Don't be with me or don't be, something along those lines. And she asked him about that. And he kind of gave a prelude to all this stuff that was getting ready to happen with his wife, because he pretty much said, I'm not the guy. I love you, but I'm not worth you putting time into me, because I can't be the man you want me to be. And I like him for saying that. I like when men are honest.
Okay.
And what's wrong with that? I feel like if I'm honest with you and I'm telling you, I'm telling you now, I'm not going to be with one woman.
I'm struggling being that.
So if you want to be with me, I'm not going to be with just you.
Okay.
I feel like if you honest with that,
and that's fine if his wife takes that and says, "Okay, I'm gone."
But I don't like when you say, "Oh no, I'm gonna be with you," and then you lie and cheat and do all
I can't do it no more, baby. I got you, baby.
So maybe he needs to get this divorce. He needs to get this divorce.
He's young too,
and they still young. He needs to get this divorce, and he needs to move on. And if he does decide to get with somebody or get married,
maybe when he's older,
they should know. No, even when he's been older, they should know. He's probably not going to still be with just you. And if you're okay with that, then you can marry him or be with him or do whatever. Because Michael Blackson be with other people. He let her know right off the...
Oh, his wife he's with?
She cool with it.
So open marriage.
Open marriage. Some people have that. I feel like if you honest with it. If you honest. And then some of them have an open marriage. No. Somebody know what you're going to say. Some of them have an open marriage on the man's side, but they don't want the woman to be on.
That's what I'm saying.
I know you was good. I saw that finger up, and I knew you was good.
Because you know
I knew you was getting ready to say that, so I was getting ready to chopping that finger off.
You know how I feel about that. If it's a Jada and Will Smith,
right, they truly are. Because he told August that he asked
better
him.
Be together with
August said he asked Will Smith, and he said yes. That means they on both sides.
Flowing, but I do not want one spouse saying no
and the other one saying yes,
and the other one saying yes.
But what if that works for them? What do you care?
Well, here's the thing.
She getting shoes and Chanel bags and Balenciaga. She don't care.
No, what I meant to say is, if both of them come to the table and say, "Let this be for both of us," and one says, "No, no," and the other one says,
but
well,
that could be his Balenciaga bag.
I'm out of here.
No, I'm saying if they work, let's say that both of them come together, and the woman says that's fine, but and he says
she's okay with that,
right? And
he's not
says,
doing her little openness.
No, and he says I don't want you with anybody else, and she says okay. Again, she got her Balenciaga bag.
Fine.
She got her
fine.
Chanel purse.
It's where that goes.
That's her payoff. That's her ticks for tax.
And I'm okay. I mean, I have to be okay with that because that's her decision.
Exactly.
Don't complain about what you're
permitting. I just don't
permitting.
like when stuff is done in the dark.
I don't
That's
like.
What I don't
no,
like.
I don't like hypocrisy with the spouse when the other spouse says, "Well, I see you want an open relationship because you're constantly struggling with this, and you want to." Okay, I feel like let's stay married because it's cheaper.
But men are
got
different.
the kids.
Men.
I don't know. Then I don't want you. That better not say nothing.
Right. Okay.
Or you out of here.
Right.
Because if you don't feel the Jada Pinkett and the Will Smith works for both of y'all, oh no, the door don't swing one way, dude. Well, you open. I'm open.
Right.
I didn't told some Negroes to stop calling me because I'm married.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna let them call me too.
All right.
So I know some men struggle with that. Some women struggle with that. So really, y'all got to be on the same page.
Well, let us know what y'all think. We overtime. We always go overtime.
I know. I was looking at it, and you was.
I may have to start chopping these up into because the other people they chop them up in topics and do individual.
You want to chop this one up?
No, I don't know. No, I'll put it out there.
Okay.
I might chop it up and put individual stuff later on. We're nobodies now. Why would I do that now? That's high tech.
Why
people
that's saying we're nobody.
Right now, it's not working.
Not as though they were.
That's true. That's right.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that was the Breakfast Club, August 1st, 2022. Next episode is tomorrow, every day, I guess. And we're getting ready to do The View after this.
Okay.
Same shirt. You don't have to change your shirt. She always want to change her shirt.
Yeah, it looks like I'm in a different table.
No, same
recording, you know?
No, we sitting at the same table.
Okay.
We're going to turn the camera off, turn it right back on to The View.
Okay.
All right, so that was another Woods Report. See you later. Let's see.
See y'all later too. I'm going to
That's right.